should not change from space and time. Space means place, and time means it's not that this year the meter was this much and the next year there is a change in the length of the meter or time. So it should be remain constant everywhere, every time. So that is this. And next is the kinds of unit. Now kinds of units, generally we have two kinds of unit. One is the fundamental units, another is the derived unit. You know, fundamental and derived. Now from the name only you can understand fundamental actually means is the basic unit. Now fundamental, from the definition, if you see, fundamental unit is that unit which is independent of any other unit, or which can neither be changed nor can be related to any other fundamental unit. So fundamental unit means that it is the basic unit. It does not depend on other unit, and it can't be changed into other fundamental unit. For example, if I say unit of length, now length, mass, time, these are some of the fundamental quantities, length, mass and time. Now when I measure length, now length is meter. Now this meter does not depend upon anybody. No other units combine to form a meter. Meter is itself a unit. It is not related with any other unit. When he says second, it is not related with any other unit like kilometer or degree Celsius. It's not related to any other type of unit. It's second means it is unit of time, and it does not depend upon any other unit. So that's about length, mass and time. But for example, if I say area, now when I say area means length into breadth. Now in fact when I say length into breadth, in fact I am measuring the length and length. Length of this part and the shorter part length is known as breadth. But ultimately I am measuring what? This much. Suppose this is 20 centimeter. And this is say 10 centimeter. So both are centimeter and centimeter. And I get what my answer as 100 centimeter square. So here the unit of area is centimeter square. That means centimeter into centimeter makes centimeter square. Or meter into meter makes meter square. So when I say the say area of a particular place is say 50 meter square. Now 50 meter square. Now how meter square forms? Meter square forms by meter into meter. And what is that meter? That meter is a fundamental unit. And this meter square, that's the SI unit of area. That SI unit of area is meter square, but this meter square depends upon the SI unit of length. So that's meter square. Now meter square itself is not a unit. 2 meter into meter makes a meter square. So one fundamental unit into fundamental unit gives you that derived unit. More clearly you can understand, for example, when I say force is equal to mass into acceleration, you know that. And that unit of mass is kg. Unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Now particularly if you see the unit of acceleration. Now when I say unit of acceleration, SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Now this meter is a fundamental unit and this second is also a fundamental unit, but the unit of acceleration is meter per second square, which is formed by two fundamental units. So therefore I say unit of acceleration is a derived unit. Meter per second square is a derived unit. Similarly again when I say mass is kg and acceleration is meter per second square. Now for example, suppose mass of a body is 1 kg and acceleration of that body sorry, meter per second square. So what I get, in class 8 you have studied this one, force. And what is the SI unit of force? SI unit of force is Newton. So that means this kg meter per second square we collectively we say Newton. So that means this Newton depends upon what? It depends upon unit of mass and unit of acceleration. So that means it is a derived unit, Newton. But this type of when you say length is say 5 meter. When you say time is say 60 hour. Now this hour is a fundamental unit. It does not depend upon any other unit. But when I say Newton depends upon kg and meter per second square. Combining these two, we got Newton. So that's a derived unit. When you say acceleration meter per second square, it is also derived units. So that's about fundamental unit and derived unit. So we have two types of unit. So the definition is given. And in the definition also, in the derived unit, you can understand derived unit are those units which depends on fundamental units or which can be expressed in terms of fundamental unit. In the notes I have given you the example, so if you study that you can understand. And next is the systems of unit. Now that systems of unit, we have different systems of unit. The first is the CGS system, also known as the French system. Now in this type of system, we mention the fundamental quantities. In physics, the fundamental quantities is length, mass, and time, and the units of this is measured in different type of systems in a different manner. For example, when I talk about CGS system, now C stand for centimeter, G stand for gram, and S stand for second. So that means what? In this system, we measure the length in centimeters, mass in gram, and time in second. Similarly, FPS system, now also known as British system. FPS means in this case we measure the length in foot, and then mass in pound, and time in second. And the next one is MKS system. That's length in meter, mass in kilogram, time in second. Okay, so these are the three main system, but generally we use SI system. Now what is that SI system? Also known as System de International. You can say it's a standard international system. Now we can't. Now these are the other systems. Okay, but for calculations and researches, it is better to have a internationally accepted system, so that there should not be any confusion while doing experiments and researches, especially from one countries to another countries when we have different languages. Say China, India, America, different languages, but we follow a certain international system which is same everywhere. We have CGS, we have FPS, okay. But when I talk about System de International, that's the SI system. Now this is same, and everywhere in the world generally we follow this SI units. Now what is this SI units? It is in fact an enlarged form of MKS system. Also we can say MKSA nowadays. MKSA, where A means ampere. Ampere means the unit of current, electric current. So that's called System de International. In fact, it's an enlarged system. In this case, generally we have 7 fundamental quantities, and then 2 complementary fundamental quantities. Now, what are those 7 fundamental quantities which we measure? Means in SI system which we follow. That's length, mass, time, temperature, luminous intensity, electric current, and amount of substance. Now these are the fundamental units. And complementary fundamental units which is added later, and that's angle and solid angle. But actually at least you should learn these 7 fundamental quantities, their unit and their symbol, right? That's length, you have meter, mass you have kilogram, time you have second, temperature Kelvin, luminous intensity candela. Luminous intensity means brightness of light, brightness of any object. Electric current ampere, amount of substance mole. In chemistry lab, when we do experiments and all, we measure in moles. So 1 mole of oxygen, 1 mole of sodium chloride. That we learn in class higher classes, in class 10. And then angle, the SI unit is radian, and then solid angle, the SI unit is steradian. Okay. So this first part is only related with units, their usage and types of units, so that throughout whenever after this, whenever you study the other chapters, you don't have any problem. This unit, although it's a boring part, but you should know this. Now whenever you don't know this first part, at least this first part, from the second part, there is experimentations and calculations and all with vernier calipers, screw gauge, but this first part is about fundamental and derived units and types of units, so you should learn this. And the other part of this chapter we'll do later. Now after this we'll start motion in 1 dimension. Okay. So that other part we'll do later, because it's not very interesting chapter. So first you learn all this, and then we'll start motion, which is interesting chapter. Okay, now let us continue. Some little bit left. Now after that, sometimes we use some prefixes, and with this help of prefixes we can easily understand the meaning of that. Say we use prefixes like deca, hecto, kilo, mega, giga, tera, peta. Now these are all big measurements, for big measurements. And for small measurement we use deci, centi, milli, micro, nano, picto, etc. Okay. So let me give you a very easy example you can understand. So when I say 1 kilometer, so this is 1 kilometer. This is 1 kilogram. And this is 1 kilowatt. So you can understand what is the importance of this prefix. Now if you see there, 1 kilo, I'm just talking about kilo, not meter, gram or watt. When I talk about 1 kilo, this kilo actually means 1000. That's 10 to the power 3. Now when I talk about 1 kilo and then meter,
1000 times of meter.
so that means 1 kilometer means 1000 meter. Similarly, when I say 1 kilo and then gram, that means it is 1 kilo and then gram. So that means this means 1000 gram. And when I say 1 kilowatt, that means 1000 watt. Similarly, you have heard about megawatt in power station, hydroelectric power station, electricity and all. Power generating station is producing 500 kilowatt per day, or gigawatt. So now you can easily reproduce them, convert. You can understand that when I say 1 megawatt, now if you see there 1 mega means 10 to the power 6. So that means 1 megawatt means 10 to the power 6 watt. And if I say 1 gigawatt,